Hey everybody, welcome to Mikey's Movie Reviews. This is the first movie review I've ever done, something I've been promising to do on my channel for quite a while now, and I have been neglecting it. So this is the first one, so hopefully you enjoy. What I'm going to be reviewing this time is Dragon Ball GT, the complete series. Searching this anime out, I have heard a lot of just bad feedback about it, any way you look at it. So I tried to get it as cheapest as possible, and at this point I kind of wish that I hadn't done that, because I'm a big collector of my DVDs, I guess, and I bought this one off eBay, realistically a bit overpriced, and it wasn't as good as condition as it should have been. If you're anything like me, even if you feel that the anime is not going to be worth your money, or any movie really is not going to be worth your money, if you're anything like me, honestly, just buy it new. I realistically only saved about $5, and the box was pretty dinged up, and it was missing the booklet, so claimed it was like new. Definitely not the case, but that's not necessarily part of the review. As far as the packaging goes, I kind of wished that I thought it was all going to be in one little case, but season 1 and season 2 in the movie are still two separate cases, just slid into this flimsy box. So had I known that, I probably would have just bought the two series separately, because they sell them in this collection and they sell them in this box thing too. So I would have just bought them separately, because I think it would have looked better that way. So if you bought the Dragon Ball Z seasons that are similar to this that Funimation released, pretty much the same style of packaging, so no real big difference there. Let's see. So one of the first things I'm going to touch on is the storyline. So obviously it takes place at the end of Dragon Ball Z, which I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I'm a huge fan of the Dragon Ball Z universe, and I'd never actually seen Dragon Ball GT, so I really wanted to get it and see. I guess I could have just streamed it instead of buying it, but I figured as a collector I might as well just have the whole thing. So I sought it out. I honestly think that the anime, it just tries too hard. I think it tries to be Dragon Ball Z, but with the humor of Dragon Ball, and it just does not work out to any extent, to be honest. I really did like the Dragon Ball GT movie, Hero's Legacy, I think is the name of it, and I really enjoyed the last saga of Dragon Ball GT, which was the Shadow Dragon saga. That's the only one that really felt like Dragon Ball Z, with just a tad bit of Dragon Ball humor mixed in, and it was like really the perfect mix. The rest of the whole series is honestly just Trunks, Pan, and Goku trying to find the Black Star Dragon Balls, which never existed up until this point, and it's just trying to be Dragon Ball with Dragon Ball Z action in it, and I don't know, it just didn't work for me really. It's still definitely worth watching. But if you really want something good, I would just skip to the Shadow Dragon saga and watch that, and then the movie, and you'll probably be happy with it. Some of the things I didn't like there was like potty humor, which I thought was really stupid. Like I think Baby, one of the main villains, when Goku turns into the giant ape, he makes a poo joke about apes throwing poo, and I was like, that's the dumbest thing ever. I think stuff like that has to do with, I don't know, I only watched it dubbed in English, so I don't know if it's that way in the Japanese version, but there were just some really bad lines and really bad names of attacks or anything really, that I felt really the writers at Funimation could have done better. Like Baby's signature move is called Revenge Death Ball. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life, and it seems just ridiculous. Like you could have come up with a better name. Like basically the whole attack was like a negative energy spirit bomb, and a negative spirit bomb or negative energy spirit bomb probably would have been a better revenge death ball. It made me cringe, to be honest. What the other thing I didn't like with the storyline is that all the really big side characters from Dragon Ball Z, like Krillin, Android 18, even Piccolo, and partially Vegeta, a little bit of Vegeta as well. Like they just became a complete second thought. Like you see Krillin, who's one of my favorite characters. You see him for like maybe 15, 20 minutes in the entire series. Android 18 does come back in the Super Android saga or Super 17 saga, which that saga actually wasn't too bad either. I kind of like that one too, but all these really great characters, they just seemed like they threw them away, and I couldn't understand that. Because in Dragon Ball Z, there were all those side characters, and there were side characters from Dragon Ball that were really big in Dragon Ball, and they got thrown away in Dragon Ball Z, like Tien and Chaozu and somewhat Yamcha. At least later, in later Dragon Ball Z, they kind of got just shoved away and nobody cared about them anymore. But they were all just like the huge character. Like even Vegeta was like he gets possessed maybe by Baby, so he's there for that. And then he's really only there in the big picture in the Shadow Dragon saga when they fight the Shadow Dragons, which I don't know, that really bummed me out that all these characters were just kind of thrown away. Really, the only characters they really cared about were Trunks, Pan, and Goku, which seems, I don't know, it seems weird to throw away all those characters, and it was kind of disappointing. So as far as the voice acting goes, most of the voice acting is really top notch. I mean, it's from Funimation. They have really great voice actors. Sean Schemmel, Christopher Sabat, Sonny Strait, all those main character voice actors are back, thankfully. So you have all the characters are voiced by the same voice actors from Z. So most of them are really good. Some of the newer, like Goten is grown up. Goten's grown up now, and so he's a teenager, so he's got obviously a new voice actor. His voice actor was kind of just, well, his character was kind of lame too, to be honest. He was kind of another character that got thrown away. Like he gets in maybe 1 or 2 fights, and basically after, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. He's in high school. He's just basically trying to score dates with hot chicks, which that's what I tried to do. It never worked out, but that's all his character really is. He's just kind of a boring side character. Also, Vidal's voice was changed. I guess because she was she's older now. She's not a high school student obviously anymore. She's got a kid, and I don't remember how old Pan is. She's like 10 or something, or 8. I don't know. Anyway, she's got a kid to worry about, so she's supposed to have more of a mothering tone, I guess, but the voice actor just played her so, or actress played her so just monotone. It's really hard to listen to her talk. I'm glad she was one of those characters that I guess just kind of got shoved away. I think Mr. Satan, you see him for a few times too. I think he's another character that got shoved away. The voice actor that played Baby, I forget who that was. It's probably... Anyway, voice acting is pretty good for the most part throughout the entire series. There's just a couple, 1 or 2 characters that are just kind of lame, and especially Vidal. Vidal really bugged me. So, honestly, if you're a huge fan of Dragon Ball, I would suggest just watching this at least once. And if you start to get into it and it's completely 100% horrible for you, just skip to the Shadow Dragon saga, because that one's actually pretty good. The writing on that is really good. I really like that one. It actually made a lot of sense to why the Shadow Dragons were there. They were kind of weird. Some of them were like weird looking. Some of that was all, I don't some of it was a little bit cheesy too, but Shadow Dragon Saga was probably the best out of all of them. The Hero's Legacy movie and the ending, like what my friend and I were discussing about it is the story. The story is actually pretty good at the end because it does have like a real definitive ending to it. Like I don't want to. You probably all know, but basically at the end, Goku just leaves with the dragon. He leaves planet Earth. He goes somewhere. We don't know. But he ends up like coming back and watching his 12th or 5th or some generation great grandson, who looks just like him, fight in the tournament against another kid who looks just like Vegeta, which is it's kind of cool. But the ending was really good to Dragon Ball GT, so I would suggest at least watch the ending. And if you're a huge Dragon Ball fan, you'll probably just watch the whole thing and be slightly disappointed and then kind of excited at the end, like I was. But it is what it is. I know, especially with the, I know I've heard rumors of Akira Toriyama basically saying that Dragon Ball GT doesn't exist to him. I know he didn't write it, or he had nothing to do with the series, to my knowledge, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Feel free to flame me in the comments if you want on that one. But either way, like with the new Dragon Ball Z movie that came out in Japan several months ago, Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods, like it basically makes most of this storyline completely null and void, especially with the new transformation. So going Super Saiyan 4, he goes Super Saiyan God, which I really want to see that movie because I'm really excited to see that. But still a fun series. It's a really good, the ending, I know I've said that like 7 times. I apologize for repeating myself. But the ending was actually just a lot of fun. Thank you for watching my first movie review. I kind of just did this completely halfway off the top of my head. I've kind of been thinking about it for a long time what I was going to say, so hopefully I didn't come out sounding like a complete idiot. Tell me what you think. Tell me how you think I did, what I can do to improve. Your feedback's definitely important, so because I'd like to keep doing these, so I don't want to bore people on everything. So let me know in the comments or send me a message or whichever. Next time I'm going to review this movie here. I just found this at Best Buy. Guy King. I'm really excited to see this again. This was actually my very first anime that I ever saw. I think I saw it when I was about 12. It is an old anime. I think it was done in the 76 is what this says. So next time I'll review that and see if I still like it. See if my 12-year-old self is still correct that it's one of the best animes ever. It's probably not, but it should be fun.